Well, hey, you guys. So when we moved into our new house in 2018, we were so excited. And some of the things that our friends, when they came by to see the house, they brought things. And I was not expecting that. I was like, oh, no. But they brought like little housewarming gifts. And I thought it was so great because they were so creative. They did not break the bank. It was not these again, extravagant things by any means. But there was something about the thought that was really special. I'm a terrible gift giver. And it was just one of those moments in life that I just thought, man, I want to do better at that. And so if you are that person, and you need some ideas, if you're like me and you struggle with creativity, I'm here for you, okay? We got 21 housewarming gifts under $25, you're welcome, that your friends are going to love. So no more stressing about some ideas. Don't feel like you have to break the bank. I am here for you. And these are very practical housewarming gifts. Now, of course, you can make things a little bit more personal, which is great, but here's a list, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a description of them because I think it's important to understand, okay, here's what we're talking about. So let's get into it. Number one, a customized doormat. So this is $25 on Amazon, and you can go and personalize the doormat. So again, it can be like a letter, their last name. It can be something else. But again, for their new home, they can put, on the side door, front door, back door, whatever it is. I think it's a great gift. Number two, a Himalayan salt lamp. So if you have a friend that's into, all of like the essential oils and all of that, this is a great option because, again, it's inexpensive, which is nice, and it purifies the air. So, yes. Number three, a good housekeeping home skills book. So this is $14 on Amazon. I don't know, and it's kind of fun. They can have it set out, or what's in it is pretty great because it's like little small projects around the house. That's pretty typical and common. If they need to tackle those, it's all in the book. Number four, a free-standing wine rack. So this is $22 on Amazon. If they partake in wine, I like this one because it's like a minimalistic look and it's freestanding. They can put it wherever they want, hold some wine, and it's great. Number five, the Pioneer Woman 2-piece ceramic baker set. So this is $20 at Walmart. And every kitchen needs a set of baking dishes, right? So this is a 2-piece set. It's really perfect. I mean, think about pastas and casseroles, desserts, all of it. They're great. Great option. Number six, Swedish dishcloths. They're $12 on Amazon. And this is for your eco-friendly friend out there. And these are like the reusable dishcloths. They're an alternative to paper towels. So, they're kind of smaller. You get them wet, use them, they dry, you can reuse. Anyways, they're pretty great. Number seven, I'm glad for what I have. My kids book $20 at RamseySolutions.com. And if your friends have children or babies, this is a great gift to add to the nursery library and just say, hey, gratitude and contentment. It's an important thing. Number eight, a personalized return address stamp, $9 on Etsy. Someone gave us this, and it was one of the best gifts. We used it all the time. It is so great, you guys. And when we moved to our new house, we've not gotten one yet. And we keep saying every time, especially with Christmas cards, I'm like, shoot, I wish I had our stamp. It makes it so easy. And again, it's a really thoughtful gift. All right, before I continue, I want to tell you about one of our sponsors, Christian Healthcare Ministries. So CHM is a faith-based alternative to health insurance that makes healthcare more affordable and allows members to share each other's healthcare costs. It's literally as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1, choose the healthcare provider that you want. Step 2, submit your eligible bills. And Step 3, get reimbursed. CHM members take care of your eligible medical bills. And with no networks and the freedom to choose your healthcare provider, CHM is the best option for Christians who want to take care of their families and help other believers. So find out more at chministries.org/budget. All right, back to our list. We got number 9, a rollaway puzzle mat. It's $24 on uncommongoods.com. And this is so great. I love puzzles. And again, storing them and all of it can be kind of difficult. So when you're cleaning or needing to move things around, sometimes the puzzle's just right there. And I think this is a really creative gift. I love this one. All right, number 10, we're going to get really practical. A fire extinguisher, $22 at Home Depot. And you're thinking, really? But listen, I think it's a great thing. Saw a video on Instagram of Taylor Swift using one recently in her kitchen. And I thought, I think we should all be that safe. So if your friends don't have one, they probably don't. It's not something you think about. I think it's a great idea for a gift. All right, number 11, Mrs. Meyer's Cleaning Trio. It's $22 on Amazon, and everyone just loves the basics, right? You're starting off with, a cleaning starter kit. It's cute, smells good, really easy, and it's going to be used. Number 12, a vintage style cappuccino mug. So these are $20 on Amazon, and they're really pretty. They're really cute, multiple mugs right there. And again, if your friend loves coffee, I think it's a really thoughtful gift. All right, number 13, Bone Maman gift box. I don't know if I said that right, but it's $22. And if you really love fruit preservatives, or your friend does, this is a really great package. This is not sponsored, but again, English muffins, a pack of that. I think it's a really great gift. Number 14, utensil and tablet holder, $20 on Amazon. So it's not just pretty, but it also keeps your phone and your tablets propped up. So if you are cooking recipes and you're needing your screen there, it's really convenient. Number 15, Questions for Humans conversation cards, $18 on RamseySolutions.com. My friend Dr. John Deloney created these, and they're great, you guys. They're great just to have out. And if you have friends over, they're fun to play. It's just some conversation starters, some great, interesting, creative questions to ask a group of friends. It's a great gift. Number 16, a personalized soft cover photo book. So this is $15, and it's a really cute customized photo book, and it's great to capture memories with. And you can put it on display on their new coffee table. Again, it'll take some time and effort on that one, but it's really cute. Number 17, Beauty by Earth Shower Steamers Aromatherapy Pack. It's $19 on Amazon. And, you're exhausted from moving, your friends, you're so tired. Here's these aromatherapy shower steamers that are great to unwind, relax, and people use that kind of stuff. Number 18, the Cheese Board Deck, $20 on Williams-Sonoma. And again, who doesn't love a snack board? And it kind of gives guides for every meal, some ingredients and spreads. It's awesome. Number 19, a USA 50-state dish towel. It's $18 on AmandaKleinCompany.com. And here in the South, decorative dish towels, they're kind of a thing. And I think it's cute because you can get the specific states that they're moving from or to as a housewarming gift. Again, it's kind of those thoughtful things that are sweet. Number 20, City Lights 1,000-piece puzzle, $17 on Amazon. Great gift. I love puzzles, and I think it's a great gift, especially if they have kids and they're wanting to do something, fun on a weekend. They'll have that puzzle from you. Number 21, You Grow Girl 3-piece gardening kits, $22 on Amazon. So gardening has been a thing. So if you need a starter kit or they need a starter kit, it's great for gardening. So I think those things are fun. Now, again, all of these options were very budget friendly, very creative. Some of your friends would hate some of those. Some of them will love some of them. So know your friend. And here's the thing. To be thoughtful and intentional in life, you don't have to spend a lot of money. And I think it's sweet because it's thoughtful. You're celebrating your friends' big moments in life, and having people cheering you on along the way and that are there to support you, I think is what really matters. So again, whether you're cooking or you're decorating, aromatherapies, whatever it is, you can have some great gifts that are budget friendly. And if you want to know more ways to keep shopping budget friendly, make sure to check out my video on 9 one-time purchases that will actually save you money in the long run. All right, you guys, remember to take control of your money and create a life you love. So managing money comes with a lot of personal responsibility. That's why it's called personal finance. In parts, though, when it comes to our money, are very, very complicated. And it could end up costing you thousands of dollars if you don't know the right way to do things or have the right people in your corner. Because again, personal finance is a lot about common sense building habits, but there's these little pieces of it that can get really complicated really fast. So that's why I recommend working with a pro, because part of building wealth is getting into those complicated areas and making sure that you're doing it correctly. And people that live and breathe this stuff in these specific areas are going to be able to help you. So today I'm going to share 3 financial pros that you need in your life and 3 important questions to ask each of them to determine if they are a right fit for you. Now, before we begin, make sure to subscribe and share this episode with a friend who you think may find this useful. All right, first up is Real estate. So finding a great real estate agent is something I recommend because when it comes to your house, it is going to be for most people the largest purchase you ever make. And if you sell your house, hopefully it has gone up in value. So you're going to have some equity there. You want to make sure that you're selling it in the right way for the best price. So anything dealing with real estate, I usually recommend always hiring a real estate agent to help you in this process for both selling and buying. So if you are working with a real estate agent and you start interviewing a couple, here are some questions that you can ask them. Ask them how many houses they have sold in the last year, because that's going to give you a great indicator on how much inventory they're doing and honestly, probably how great they are at selling. I would also ask them what their schedule and availability looks like, because when you get into the real estate agent world, there are some really high performers and this is their full-time career and it's like 7 days a week. They're there for you. If they're your client, it's like they're just, they're running and gunning. Where some people are like, oh, they only want to sell a few houses a year and they're going to be more strict with their schedule because they're just doing this part-time. So it's good for you to know on the front end. And then also when it comes to real estate percentages, when it comes to commission, it's gotten a little complicated over the last few months. So I would go ahead and just ask up front what their expectation is. So those are some questions that you can ask. But again, when it comes to any of these pros, interview a couple of them when it comes to real estate agents. And find the one that fits best with you. Because if you are in the home buying or home selling market, you're probably going to be with this person a lot and there's going to be a lot of communication. So make sure that you like them. All right, before I share more about some other financial pros you need in your life, I want to tell you about one of our sponsors, Delete Me. 1/3 of the U.S. population's background info is now public. So for 115 million of us, data breaches mean that our info is out there for anyone to find. So this is stuff like our names and addresses and phone numbers and more. And this is why I love Delete Me, because they find and remove information from hundreds of data broker websites that will buy, sell, and trade your personal data. So take control of your online privacy with Delete Me. Individual Delete Me plans start as low as $9 a month. Sign up today at joindeleteme.com/Rachel for 20% off or click the link in the description. They're amazing, so make sure to check them out. All right, the next pro you need in your life is a tax professional. So having somebody to look over your taxes, because we don't want to mess this up. Now, there is a case for some of you out there that self-filing may make sense. So if you don't have a very complicated system when it comes to your taxes, it's like, you maybe you just work a 40-hour-a-week job and there's no freelancing or there's no like extra income coming in elsewhere, not multiple properties or anything. And it's, you haven't had a baby or you haven't gotten married. Like it's a pretty simple filing situation. But if you do have a little bit more of a complicated situation, or maybe you're just a little concerned and you're like, I would rather sit down with a human, then getting a tax professional on your side is really key. So some questions to ask a tax professional as you start digging into this. I would ask how many clients do they balance at once? Because again, you'll kind of understand the firm maybe that they're working for, or if there's multiple pros there, if it's just them, just kind of getting an idea of their time frame and their ability to work with you depending on how busy they are. I would also ask how much experience that they have with clients who may have complicated financial situations. So this is everything from moving states, taxes can change there, selling a business, if you get a divorce. So kind of knowing that they've been in the industry for a bit is always helpful, because if you ever run into a situation that gets more complicated, trust me, you want a good tax pro on your side if that ever comes up. And then I would also just ask them how often do they recommend meeting? Because if you do want someone face-to-face, you do want a tax pro that will sit down with you in person or over Zoom or however you choose to do it, but some level of communication if you're looking over different things or something comes up in your life that you're able to go and talk to them and that they're available. So again, interview a couple, find the one that you like, but especially if you have a complicated tax situation, have a pro in your corner so you don't mess it up, because taxes, they can be complicated. They can be simple, but they can also be complicated. And if it's complicated, we want to make sure we're doing it right so we don't go to jail. This is what we want to avoid. We want to avoid penalties and late fees, all the things. Doing our taxes on time and the right way is very important. All right. Another pro that I really think you need in your life is a smart investor pro. So this is someone who's going to help you when it comes to your investing. And usually an investment professional is going to look over your entire financial scope. This is everything from like estate planning. They may even talk about wills. They could even talk about taxes with you. I mean, you're giving. So much happens when you have an investment professional on your side. So as you start entering the investment world, it's a great time to get an investment professional. All right, before I share my 3 questions I would ask a tax pro as I'm interviewing them, just remember, meet with them in person and see if you genuinely like them. I think even more than real estate and tax, I think your investment professional you want to like. And if you feel like they're sleazy or you don't like them, you don't trust them, like get out now, find someone that you enjoy, because the goal is to be with this person for decades to come, that they're going to be walking with you through your financial life. And I think it's really important that you have a good feeling about them. So 3 questions I would ask them as you're interviewing them. I would ask how they're compensated. You know, some investment professionals are paid a fee, some are off of commission. This would not be a make or break for me. I think either way is fine, but it's always good to know. We had a call recently on the Ramsey Show, and this guy inherited $2 million. Must be nice, right? $2 million from his parents when they passed. And the guy that he was using for his investment professional, you know, he put the money and invested, and the guy's fee went up, you know, up to like 5%, I think is what he was taking out. So it went up a lot when he put $2 million. And he was like, am I getting the value of this? And so like, it was just good questions to ask. So I think the way they're compensated can make you maybe feel a certain way, but also to know the value that you're getting and that you feel good about that is really important. They're going to get paid. You're going to pay them for them helping you. So that's 100% okay and great. Just making sure you feel good about it on the front end is important. Also, I would ask if they understand and respect your goals. So if you're doing your money the Ramsey way and you are, you know, trying to pay off your house, you're investing 15% of your income, you know, you're doing some things in a specific order, and that's where your values are, that's the choices you're making, that they honor that. Because you will meet some investment professionals that are like, why would you pay off your house? You could keep all that money in the market. You know, say you had $200,000, you could just keep it in the market and it could be making 10 to 12%. Why would you ever take that off and pay off your house? You had a great rate at 3%. Why would you do that? So like mathematically, like I get what they're saying, and that's a big argument we always have. But if you have an investment professional that's where they lean all the time, then it's going to conflict with what you want to do. If one of your goals is, I want to be completely debt free. That's all I want to do is like pay off my house. That's my next big goal. And if they don't understand and respect that, that's going to cause you to butt heads. So make sure they know your plan, because remember, they are working for you. This is your money, so make sure that they respect your plan. And then I would also ask them just the range of income and assets they have for other clients they serve, because I think it is important as you level up and you continue to grow financially that they have the bandwidth to be able to help you in more complicated situations. Because as your wealth grows and maybe you start diversifying in different things, and there's different, you know, things with taxes, like there's so much that can get really complicated, making sure that they've done this a lot and they're able to walk with you very smoothly in the wisest, best way when it comes to building wealth. So we have real estate and tax pros that are Ramsey trusted. So if you're looking for a great real estate agent or tax pro, we have multiple in different zip codes or different areas around the country. So click the link below to find one. And also, if you're looking for a smart investor pro when it comes to your investing in your overall financial picture, I'll also put a link down there as well. All right, I think getting connected again to these pros is really, really key, because they're going to be able to help you in these areas that can start to get complicated when it comes to your money. And having a person that you trust and that you know is so knowledgeable to help teach you and guide you is so, so key. All right, you guys, remember to take control of your money and create a life you love. Well, hey, you guys, so think about this with me for just a second. What's the last thing that you bought that you really convinced yourself you were going to use and you didn't? Well, for me, it was an entire array of running gear for a new hobby that I thought I was going to do. And spoiler alerts, it didn't happen. And yes, that was money wasted, lesson learned. But listen, I had high hopes, my intention was good. But hey, we're all going to do better. We can do this, you guys. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But I also want to talk about the why behind this pattern and why so many of us struggle with that. So why do we buy things that we don't need? What's really the root issue, and how do we fix it? Plus, stick around to hear The one purchase that is always worth the money, no matter your current financial situation. All right, I started thinking about this topic when I came across another video of someone with giant, piles of books around their house. And it really made me laugh because, she had like hundreds of books. And she said she either had never read or no longer needed them. And my thought was, well, that's kind of ridiculous, but then also very relatable, because how and why do we accumulate so much stuff only to have a pile of it to clean out and donate months or even years later? Listen, contentment is part of it, and comparison culture and contentment, they're like BFF. But when you boil it down even further, there's something called aspirational spending that I think is really interesting. And this is when you aspire to do something. It means that you want to do it. You're hopeful that you will do it, but you haven't actually done it. So you have not undergone, the necessary transformations of that goal yet. And it doesn't mean that you can't or you won't get there eventually, but it has not become a reality. For me, I, get this right. Sometimes I get this wrong. I've started doing cold plunges. I may have told you all about this on the show already. Listen, I'm on trend, and it was miserable at first. It still is miserable. It's very difficult, but there's a lot of benefits, and there's something for me, like mentally, to be like, I can do this. I can do this. Now, Winston went and bought a legit cold plunge. We've had it for probably about 5 weeks now. But we've been doing this for over 6 months, and we actually started doing it in our bathtub. And we'd fill our bathtub up with ice. And once we did that for like 4 or 5 months, we're like, okay, this becomes a routine. This is something that we are actually going to stick with. Then we're like, okay, now let's save up and invest in like a really nice one, because we know that we're going to do it, right? The habit is already established. Now, with aspirational spending, it's the opposite, okay? And I'm guilty of this too. Now, before I spill the beans on the aspirational spending that really got the best of me, I want to tell you about a faith-based alternative to health insurance that can really make healthcare more affordable, and that is Christian Healthcare Ministries. CHM allows members to share each other's healthcare costs, and it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1, choose the healthcare provider you want. Step 2, submit your eligible bills. And step 3, get reimbursed. CHM members that take care of your eligible medical bills, and with no networks and the freedom to choose your healthcare provider, CHM is the best option for Christians who want to take care of their families and help other believers. So find out more at chministries.org/budget. All right, like I mentioned earlier, a while back, I convinced myself, that I was going to be a runner, right? I get in these health moments in life. And again, the cold plunge, that was good. Like, let's just be honest. I didn't splurge for the big nice one and then hope I did it, right? We did that in the right order. This whole running thing, it was the opposite order. I woke up one day and I was like, I want to run a marathon before I turn 30. So this was years and years ago. And I went to a store called Fleet Feet. I don't know. I think they have them around the country, but they watch how you run. They look at your arches, and you buy really nice shoes. I bought 6 pairs of expensive socks. I got some running shorts, a couple of running tops, and I was like, I'm going to be a runner. But I hadn't run yet, and I'd gotten all my stuff. And I remember I was like, oh my gosh, okay. I have my schedule printed out. My friend, Christy Wright, she's a big runner, so she was coaching me, called her Coach Christy, and did my first, my first little run, then second, and third, and then I had my first long run, which was 1.5 miles. And I ran a fourth of a mile, and I got there, and I thought, I hate this. This is terrible. I hate running. I'm not a runner. I actually don't want to do this, and I quit. And I walked back to my car. I didn't even run back to my car. I just walked back to my car, got in and left, and that was it. And I still have those tennis shoes, and I still see them. And I'm like, yeah, there they are. Lesson learned. Sometimes you think if I just spend the money and have the stuff, I'm going to become that, right? But it doesn't always happen. It usually doesn't happen. So don't go and buy a bunch of high-end running gear or books or camping gear or whatever it may be to keep you thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to go get all this and become that person. It doesn't happen. So when you spend on behalf of you that does not exist yet, you usually end up spending more on stuff you don't need. And again, you don't even know if you're going to end up using it all. So if you're consistently trying to fill a void with a new purchase that can only give you a temporary high, you're allowing yourself this wish list for the future, this dream that you have, And what's going to happen is going to actually dictate your finances in the present. And that's not a great place to start. So I would say change yourself first, then save up the cash to enhance those hobbies and habits that you've already built up. And then it's great. But there's more to financial stability than just saying no and being patient. And it happens to be one of the aspirational purchases that I can actually get behind, and that is Financial Peace University. So if you're not familiar with FPU, it is 9 lessons that walks through everything you need to know step by step on how to build wealth successfully the right way and get yourself in a position where you're out of debt and you have money saved. And this has been around for over 30 years. It has helped millions of people, you guys, get out of debt and do all of this. And it's just great. So if you want that basic knowledge, make sure to give it a try. You can click the link below. And while you're at it, download EveryDollar, our budgeting app, to get you started in this process of making a budget every month and having that be a goal monthly. So you can go to everydollar.com/Rachel to check that out. And if you haven't seen my episode on 7 things I'm not buying right now, make sure to check that out as well. And remember to take control of your money and create a life you love. Hey, you guys. So today I'm going to be reacting to a TikTok where a mom is sharing her thoughts on being a Venmo mom instead of a classroom mom. And this topic really hits home if you have little ones. Since, again, there's so much that affects your life and your money and your family. And if it does, which this topic takes all 3 of those into account, it is worth talking about. So I'm going to listen to what she says, and then I want to share some of my thoughts and kind of talk through some ways that you can show up for your kids and your budget and have that balance. And if you enjoyed this conversation, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss upcoming episodes. All right, let's watch this TikTok.
I don't know about anyone else out there, but Meet the Teacher is super stressful because I do not want to be involved at all. I will make sure my kids obviously do their homework, get to school on time and stuff, but I don't want to be on PTO, PTA, room mom, team mom. I don't want to do any of that. And I start getting real stressed when they start asking for volunteers. And I'm like, oh, no, I know they're judging me because I'm not raising my hand, but I don't want to come in. I don't want to set up. If the room mom needs money for everyone to participate, fine. I'll Venmo money right over. I don't want to set up for it. I don't want to do it. So today was very stressful, but I successfully avoided all of that today. All of that. I avoided all of it. I didn't get asked one time to be a room mom, a team mom. I even told one of the coaches today that I am a Venmo mom, so.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Okay, so my initial thoughts are, anytime anything is just massively extreme, I'm always a little bit okay, let's simmer down. It can be polarizing, right? And so I'm sure people had strong reactions to that because she is on more of an extreme, I don't want anything to do with it. I will Venmo. I don't want anything to do with it. Versus other people are oh no, I want to be in every single thing that my kids are doing and I want to be as involved as possible. Oh my gosh, I'm here, right? And I think both ends, I don't know, I'm finding in life, balance is really key. But I know different seasons are going to call for different things. And I have definitely been a Venmo mom in seasons for sure. Self-admittedly, never been a room mom. I haven't. But I've started to do more and more, which we'll talk about later in this video. But again, I can see how this probably ruffled some feathers for people. Now, before I say more, I actually wanted to do a poll of you guys to see, okay, how do you identify? Are you more of a classroom mom or a Venmo mom? And 47% of you said classroom mom, so hands-on. 53% said Venmo mom. Again, I'm happy to send money to support that way, but I'm not going to come in and do things. So, that's pretty 50-50, which I don't know why I was shocked by that. I kind of thought there would be one, higher than the other, but I guess it makes sense. Which brings me to this point. Can we just cancel mom guilt and mom shaming once and for all? Depending on what side of the aisle that people, tend to lean towards, probably because of their season of life or their giftings, what they enjoy, don't beat up the other person for that. It's crazy. And that's what makes me so angry is that mom, it's mom is expected to do X, Y, and Z, again, on both ends. And it's listen, there are dads in the equation too, right? And I know there's been seasons like where Winston has gone on field trips with the kids because I've had to work or like whatever it looks like. There are things that are going to happen in life on both sides of the spectrum. So don't sit there and just like bicker at each other. Just loosen up, you guys, regardless of where you naturally stand. Because again, we all have different gifts and capabilities, and that's what makes the community work. And showing up for your kids, though, I think is a major win, and that can look a lot of different ways. So before I share the 4 key things that every parent should remember, I want to talk about one of our sponsors, Delete Me. Delete Me is so great, you guys, because there are scammers everywhere today. And it's amazing how much of your information, personal information, is out on the internet. And scams can come up. And I'll admit it, I have fallen for 1 or 2 of them, but that is why I use and recommend Delete Me, because it gives me such peace of mind. They go in and remove all your personal info. So this is like your home address, phone number, and more from hundreds of data broker websites, helping protect you from spammers, scammers, and online thieves, and potentially saving you a lot of time and money. So you guys make sure to go to joindeleteme.com/Rachel for 20% off. That's joindeleteme.com/Rachel. And do this because, again, having a service like this in the world we live in with the internet and how much our information is out there, it is worth it. All right, here are 4 things to remember next time you catch yourself maybe getting a little competitive with a different mom in your world. And you're like, oh, remember, number 1 is not better than the other. Okay. So on both ends, it's not that one is getting it right and the other's not. And so that's what happens. I think sometimes we think how we behave and what we believe and what we want, everyone should be like that. And if they're not, they're somehow doing it wrong. And that's just not true. So me, for example, I've never been a room mom. I'm not on PTO. I Venmo for sure. I will go in because my girls love it, and Charles does too. So I do it for him. If there are opportunities to volunteer and I'm able to plan it out, I will do that. And this is everything from being a class reader or going in and, helping the teacher do some stuff. So I do that a few times a year. It's not a ton, but it's enough because my kids love when we show up for school. And they've asked me, Caroline has specifically asked me, Mom, will you please come and be the class reader one day? So there are things in that you're like, okay, I'm going to do that because my kids are asking and it's great. And I do want to be more involved and I enjoy it and it's fine. Now, my sister, on the other hand, she is part of everything you can imagine at our kids' school. Our kids go to the same school, same elementary school. It's precious and so sweet. But sweet Denise, I mean, she is on PTO. She does all the fundraising here. We had a Friday fun night and Denise had the volunteer t-shirt because she's running different stations. I mean, Denise is involved. We love her for that. She enjoys it too. She really does. She loves it. So again, I'm not better than her. She's not better than me. It's all great. All right. Number 2 is to know what is actually helpful. So again, the idea of volunteering is to help out the teacher. I mean, that's going to be it. And so pay attention to what they need and do your best to pitch in. I did this thing for my 4th grader and the teacher even told me, she's like, I'm probably giving you the worst thing to do. And I'm so sorry. And it was just this thing of dividing out all the stuff. And I was really happy to do it, honestly, because I thought she's sitting here teaching all day to these kids and having to go home and not only grade papers, but do all this other stuff. No, I can do this. So again, making sure that you are doing and serving how the teacher or the school needs it, I think is really, really key. Number 3 is not about the school. It's actually at home. And that is being present at home. That is the top priority. Okay. So regardless of whether you volunteer or you're room mom or what Venmo mom, regardless of where you stand on all of this, being a present parent is really key. And that can look a lot of different ways. Again, sometimes it's volunteering, sometimes it's sending money. But your relationship with your kids, that's what it's about. And being interested in them, knowing them, asking questions, being in tune with your kids is so important. And so many parents, I think, can even justify in this situation, well, I do so much at their school, they'll know. Or are you kidding? Look how much we pay for over here. I mean, your kids don't, at the end of the day, they care about your relationship with them. And that is top priority, regardless of if you're a Venmo parent or a room parent, right? And number 4 is to check your identity because you want to make sure that you're doing either one of these out of a healthy place. Meaning, if you're on one extreme and you're serving down to the bone and you're doing it from an unhealthy place because you're wanting, you want approval and, you're doing it from a bad motivation, that can't be good for you long term. And then the other end, right? Sometimes I think even that video, I'm not saying this about her, but sometimes there can be this like, well, I just send money and like, oh my God, I don't like want to do anything with my kids. Like you can start to be prideful on that end as well. So making sure your motivation is healthy, just knowing, hey, I work full time. I'm not able to go and be at my kids' stuff, and I'm not going to feel bad about that. So I'm going to send money. There's something about the motivation of that end as well that's really important to keep a pulse on. So regardless of how you interact with your kids and their activities and their schooling and all of it, making sure that's coming from a healthy place. But when it comes to our kids overall, their character and who they're becoming is really key. Meg Meeker always says that you're not just trying to raise good kids, you're raising kids to be good adults, right? So we want them to thrive in life. And that means the character of who they are is so key. And so generosity, contentment, learning to give and be generous and to share, like all of this is so important. And so that's why I've written a couple of kids' books around these topics, because I think it is really, really key. Make sure to click the link below to check that out. And share this episode with anyone who needs some encouragement of all the mom expectations out there. We want to just flatten that, give some balance to the conversation. And if you think that this conversation is a little controversial, well, you haven't seen anything yet. Check out my episode on my most hated financial advice, which is eating at home. Who knew? So I'll leave a link in the description as well. Remember, you guys, to take control of your money and create a life you love. Okay, there are tons of practical ways to save money. I can give you a list of like 15 things to do. But honestly, what I have found is changing my mindset is probably the most effective way when it comes to building wealth. So I'm going to be sharing the savings hack that nobody really talks about and the 3 times it actually saved me from wasting money. Now, before we get started, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. Okay, so let's have a little fun and make this a little game. And I'll share the 3 times that I used this hack with my own budget. And by the end, see if you can guess what the hack is. And if you know, drop a comment down below for your guess. All right, so Winston and I went to New York. This was a few months ago. And I had been saving because I wanted this one specific purse. And I was like, it'd be so fun to buy it in New York. So I'd been saving over the couple of months. I had it in the every dollar budget. So when we got to the store in New York, I went to buy it, and it was a nice purse, right? It wasn't like my Target purses that I have. It was a nicer purse. But I got there and I was like, okay, and I was looking at it, but they didn't have exactly what I wanted. And so I had the money, and there were like 1 or 2 other purses that I was like, I could probably buy it. And then I kind of felt bad because the sales lady helping was like so nice and kind and was like getting all this stuff out for me. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's doing so much work. I like kind of feel bad that I'm going to just walk away, but I really don't really want any of these. And it was just like this whole thing. And I finally just like looked at Winston and I was like, I don't think I want a purse. And he was like, okay, that's fine. Cause it just was not what I wanted. And so we left, and I still had the money. And I was like, you know what? If another purse comes up someday that I want, I'll get it. But it's just not what I wanted after saving for a few months. So that was one thing. Another time that I used this idea about saving is for a pool. So Winston and I built a house back in 2019, and we didn't have it in our budget to build a pool at the same time. So we're like, you know what? We'll make this like a 5 to 6 year goal that we're going to save up, and we're going to do it really well. We're going to like build a beautiful pool that we want. And instead of shortcutting it and doing it faster, like let's just take the time to save and get what we want. And so fast forward to now, 2025, and it happened. Like it took about 6 months to like do the whole project. But yeah, thinking back in like 2019 when we started this process, it felt so good that at the time it was like, okay, time to pull the plug. We're going to do this. Or no, I guess time to plug in, not pull the plug. Time to start the project. It like gave us such confidence, and it was a very smooth process. We love it. Love it. Love it. Before I share the 3rd time that this underrated hack saved me money, I do want to talk about one of our incredible sponsors, Christian Healthcare Ministries. So health insurance costs are only moving one way, and that isn't down. The wait times are longer, and it's harder than ever to get anything approved. So if you feel like the system is working against you, try Christian Healthcare Ministries. It's a biblically based alternative to health insurance. CHM is a health cost-sharing ministry that's helped hundreds of thousands of families like yours take care of healthcare costs, stay true to their values, and avoid getting tied down by miles of red tape. Y'all, there is a better way, and Christian Healthcare Ministries starts as low as $98 a month. So to find out more, go to chministries.org/budget. That's chministries.org/budget. All right, so the third time this savings hack really saved me, we knew that we were going to have to get a different car once our third baby came. And this was about 5 years ago. And I was like, okay, we have 3 car seats. Like, I'm going to need a bigger car. And so we were looking and saving. We had money saved, knowing we were going to have to replace my current car. And when it got down to it, it was like, okay, we had money to do, a nice SUV. Like, we did look at those. And it was like, okay, we could. And then I was like, man, I would hate to spend all of this money on something that my kids, who, God love them, sweetest little things ever, but they're disgusting. Like, there's crumbs everywhere all the time. Juice boxes spill. They got yogurt that's been dried out. I mean, like, it's just like, who knows what is back there? And I'm not one of these moms that's like, no snacks in the car. Like, that's not real. Like you don't live in reality if that's you. Like, it's going to happen. So just prepare for it if you haven't already. But like, I remember thinking, like, if we spend all this money on this nice SUV, this whole time I'm going to be like, oh my God, no food, or don't do that. Oh, don't slam your door. Like, oh my God, I'm going to be so paranoid because cars are expensive. And so then we were like, okay, well, what if we went to a cheaper version? And I thought, I've never said this before in my life at that point, but I said it. I was like, let's go try a minivan. And y'all, number one, it was a third of the price of some of these other SUVs we were looking at. It was insane. And it was amazing. Like, I sat in there and I was like, it's like a mom sat in here and just said, what do I need about life? What do I need to solve life's problems? And she built the minivan. And I was like, okay. So we had money to do something like maybe a little bit bigger and better, but I genuinely, it was exactly what I wanted. It's what I wanted. It gave me peace of mind. And so we bought the minivan, and I felt so good about it. So there was a mindset that I had with all 3 of these expenses, some more expensive than others, I guess in this case, but what it was patience. And when I had patience to save up and pay for something over the long term, there was not this urgency in the moment of purchase to think like, oh, this is what we have to do. Oh gosh. You make bad decisions when you have limited options. And when you are urgent on something, it's like in our psyche, you limit other options and you just go to the obvious choice. And so I think if we were looking for a car and we didn't have the patience and save up, I probably may have gotten the nicer SUV. But since I had the actual cash right there, and then I really thought through what our life would be like with these kids in this car, it was like, okay, maybe I don't really want the nice SUV. Like, maybe I want something different. Or the person in New York, like, I actually had the money. So I was like, do I really want this or do I not? And so when you have patience and you save up and pay for things and cash is on your side, suddenly the urgency goes down and you have the ability to make possibly other decisions that you would have made differently if you were not only using debt, but you were in an urgent situation. So when it comes to big purchases, you guys, slow down, save up, have the patience to get what you want, because you're going to have so much more peace at the end of that decision. And if it's over the long term, like the pool, like it was like a 5 to 6 year deal for us. And that pool changed, like it did from what we would have built before that. So even knowing that, like, give yourself the time and patience. And it, again, so much more peace in the process. So my number 1 tip, you guys, if you want to do this and you want this long-term patience to save up for big purchases, have sinking funds in your budget. This is what we do. We put a line item in our budget and you label it pool. I labeled it purse, like whatever the thing is you're saving for, and put a little bit of money away to do this. You could do this for Christmas. You could do this for vacations, like whatever you are doing long-term, put it in the budget every single month and save up a little at a time. Yes, it's going to take more patience. It may not be as fun in the moment, so like pulling the trigger and doing it, but I'm telling you, you will have more peace. So today we were kind of talking about mindset, but if you're looking for practical money tips, learn how to save $4,000 fast by clicking here for the next episode, or if you're listening on podcast, click the link below. All right, you guys, remember to take control of your money and create a life you love. Well, hey, you guys. So one thing that I know for sure about life and money is that daily habits are what create true peace. There's almost never a get-rich-quick scheme or an expensive high-tech appliance that makes life easier and more stress-free. It really is the daily discipline of making small choices that have a high impact, which is exactly what we're going to talk about today. So I want to share 5 one-minute tasks that you can do to create and maintain a clutter-free life. And stick around till the end because I'm sharing my number one non-negotiable hack for keeping my money organized and in check. So first, let's just do a little imagining, shall we? Picture this with me. You're sitting on the couch scrolling through social media after dinner, and you promised yourself you're going to get up in 10 minutes to finish loading the dishwasher and putting the clothes away in the dryer. Then suddenly it's been 45 minutes and you haven't moved. And you give yourself another 10 minutes, and then another 30 minutes go by, and then another 30. And by the time you finally get yourself off the couch to finish those last two tasks, you're annoyed with yourself because you procrastinated doing something that literally took only 5 minutes and could have been done hours ago. Guilty as charged. So again, if that has been you, you are not alone. Majority of Americans are exhausted emotionally, physically, spiritually, professionally. And sometimes the simple things are the hardest things to do, especially if they're small enough to just keep putting off. And I totally get that. But I promise you, doing these 5 quick things will make a world of difference at almost no cost to you. So the first habit that's always a game changer for me is literally just making the bed. And I'm going to be the first to say it. I'm not great at this, but it is not that big of a deal. And that's what I tell myself. So if you are a working parent or a stay-at-home parent, like whatever it is, one of the best things that you can do is when you get up is just to make the bed. And there's books written about this and like all of it. But I'm telling you, this one thing can give you a sense of control and peace when it comes to this space. So avoid feeling like you can't get stuff done and relax when something like this just takes you 60 seconds, okay? And it will, again, bring you this level of visual organization and decluttering that will actually make your morning routine go faster or more productive, or at least that's what the science says. But I believe it. So make your bed. Number 2, the second habit is to keep your life clutter-free is putting shoes away. There's nothing quite like walking in the door of your home and immediately unlayering from the day. And all you want to do is just kick off your shoes and relax. And you can, but just take those extra few seconds and put them in your closet. And if you have a spouse or kids, they need to go along with this one as well. We have a place in our house where the kids' shoes are. Amelia has a bin, Caroline has one, and Charles has one. I'm like, it's amazing. All the shoes, if you just put them in, it just feels great. And it takes 30 seconds, right? And you can do this as a unified effort if you need to get everybody doing this. But it is amazing. A small task that can create a lot of peace. And when everyone is doing their part, when it comes to putting their belongings in the right place, it actually takes like the kitchen and the living room and the back porch and all of that peaceful. And then when you have to leave the house and you're like, where are your shoes? You know where it is. It's like my biggest pet peeve, but it's amazing. When you have a place for it, there is less clutter, less things that you're tripping over. You know what's going on, and it's a small habit, but it's a great one. All right, the third 1-minute habit to declutter your life is empty the car when you get home. Now, again, I get it. Chaos is like part of my life, I feel like, especially if you're parenting kids and you're like one-on-one with them and you got 3 kids in the back and you're trying to do car seats and seat belts and drinks and snacks and you're running this and getting this bag and a towel for the pool and it's just everything. It is just chaos. But once you're done and you like put everyone inside, come back to the car and unload it. Again, it takes a minute, maybe a minute and a half. But what's going to be the best is you're taking out your coffee cup, you're taking out water bottles, trash, all of it, you're grabbing stuff, and you're done. And then when you get back in the car, there's a peace that happens because the clutter is gone. So make that a habit. Right, the fourth habit that makes a huge difference for me is having a designated place for kids' school stuff. Oh, this is a big one. Backpacks, sports bags, binders, homework, art projects, papers that come home from school, all of it. This can create so much clutter. So rather it just being a pile on the kitchen floor, have a place for it. Ideally like a closet or something that it can be put away, and every kid has an area that is theirs, okay? And this is amazing. So they put their backpacks there, coats. Again, this is where our kids' shoes are in our house. Everything is in a place. And then I got a bin that I empty their folders because, God bless elementary school kids, but they come home with a lot of worksheets. A lot. Love to see the schoolwork. Glad they're learning and all the things, but there's so many papers. And I don't have time every day to like go through each of them and be like, am I going to keep this? Not, because I will keep things that are like funny that they've written, or something like really sweet, or handprints. Like there's certain things I keep, everything else I trash. But I don't want to look for it every day. I don't want to look through everything. So I just put everything in a bin, and then probably like every 3 months I take that bin down and I just go through it. It takes me about 10 minutes, but it's great. But having a place where everything goes, again, it takes a minute, 1 minute, and the clutter is gone and it just feels great. It feels organized, which is so key. All right, now it's time to reveal my number one habit for making my life peaceful and clutter-free. And this one is about money. And it really does affect every part of our lives, because my fifth tip to staying organized and bringing you peace is to use a monthly budget. So budgeting is something that I am all about because it gives you such guidance and direction on where your money's going, and you're the one that gets to create the plan. It's up to you. You get to sit down and say, where do I want my money to go this month? Your income comes in, where's it gonna go? What's it gonna do? And if you don't do this, I really do believe there's a level of subconscious angst and kind of stirring that happens. But when you have a plan, you have something visual that you know where your money's going, it is going to create peace. So if you've not downloaded EveryDollar, this is the best budgeting app. And you can create a free budget if you go to everydollar.com/Rachel, create that first budget, and get in the habit. And again, once you do this each month, updating your budget month to month, it's gonna just take a minute or two. It's really not gonna take that long, especially when you're in the habit of it. But that is gonna give you such peace. And if you haven't yet, make sure to check out my episode on lessons that I've learned from minimalists. There's some good stuff in there. All right, you guys, remember to take control of your money and create a life you love.